For Stories That Soar. Here we go.
Yeah, Stories That Soar started as an idea, really, an idea to empower children through theater. I mean, it truly, like most programs, I think, start and then they define their mission, and we actually had defined our mission before we even created our project. So we really try to do as many multi-use, I mean, that's why I don't have like you know, costumes for things. I have suggestions of noses and ears, and then, like, even though this is a dog nose, if you put that on top of a monkey mask, it actually looks like a bear. You know? So, like, that becomes a bear instead of a monkey and a dog. Right. You know, I try to find as many ways as possible to come up with what we need. I work with a troupe of professional adult actors and musicians, and singers and dancers, and we bring those stories to life as a professional production, and we come back to the school and give the kids their very own stories back. Stories That Soar starts with a magic box. This magic box is non-judgmental, it talks, and it's hungry, and it wants to eat children's stories. And it invites kids to write about anything they want, in any language, in any style, in any form.
Once, there was a kid named Box.
It's a very exciting program, and probably the most common feedback we get from kids is that they love it because it lets them use their imagination.
Mr. Crinkle, they hated each other. One day, there was a fight between the magic box and Mr. Crinkle. People love me because I perform their stories.
Yeah, well, you don't perform all
Those are the stories that will go out to the actors. So there'll be 7 actors receiving stories tonight, the project manager, and I take some. And then everybody goes home with their smaller stack of stories, so maybe 10, 15 stories each. And then they bring back 2, 3, 4 stories that they've scripted out and come up with a concept for. And then we narrow that down to the 16, 17 stories we'll actually perform.
I appreciate your kindness.
I know, like he's just walking around and like everybody's like dying, cars are crashing. He's like, I do not care.
Kitty does not care. Kitty does not care. Kitty was cool, baby. Kitty was so cool. He was past cool. He was hot, baby. He did not care, baby. He did not care. Yeah.
There's a lot of stories that kids write that do surprise me. I mean, there a lot of kids write about fairies and dragons and, you know, people getting married and having 2 babies at the end and dogs that talk and that sort of thing. But they also do write real stories, and I mean about things about their real life and their own perspective of life.
I want my dad to come alive.
What makes a story stand out is the collaboration between the child's words and the actor's interpretation of that. I think a lot of kids write stories in school that maybe are given a grade and that's the end of it, or they're not even really given the opportunity to express themselves about what they want to talk about. You know, they're given a prompt. And when you give a kid a chance to write about whatever it is they want to talk about, you get some really interesting stories. I mean, we had a really great story last year about a kid that went to go visit his dad in jail, and what it smelled like, and what it felt like, and what the food tasted like, and how scared he was. But it was really a story about a child's and a son and father's love, because at the end of the story, he felt okay, and he played with his dad. They played a game of basketball, and And all of that scary stuff fell away. The spelling was not good, the punctuation was tough, you know, I don't think there was any punctuation, but we don't look at that, we look at what the ideas, and when you kind of eliminate those conventions that are often how people look at stories and look at the ideas and then bring art into it to bring it to life, you can really kind of get a sense of a child's view of the world.
How did all three of you guys feel when you were called on stage at the end of the show?
I was embarrassed because, like, I've never been on stage before. Never. I was nervous walking through the kindergarten because I thought I was going to fall on them because, like, my legs were, like, shaking. Mine too. And when I got on stage, when you gave me the confetti and when I threw it in the air, it just felt really good doing that story and the heart.
They're the universal themes of unconditional love and sense of responsibility and sense of self that kids do write about if you just give it a chance and take a look at it.